22 miles per hour. 31 in Niagara Falls, 28 in Jamestown, 25 right now in Olean. Wind chill values for a lot of you in the teens. Feels like 19 degrees here in Buffalo. We'll see a little more snowfall today, looking about a ½ inch or an inch on top of what we already have. Winds, though, will be very strong, like I mentioned, gusting over 40 miles per hour later on today.
Aaron, thank you. 6:02, we are officially one day from Election Day, meaning if you didn't get to vote early, tomorrow is going to be your day to go to the polls. If you're voting by mail, tomorrow's also the deadline to postmark your absentee ballot and have it back in the mail. If you don't have an absentee ballot today, your final day to apply for one, you have to do it in person. All you have to do is head to your county's Board of Elections office and request it there, and then you'll receive your ballot then.
A number of Western New Yorkers have already voted during this year's early voting period. Listen to this. More than 16,000 people voted early in Erie County Sunday alone. It was the last day to vote early. That brings the 9-day total to almost 168,000 votes. That's more than a quarter of all registered voters in Erie County.
Can't get to the polls on Tuesday. I'm too busy with work, so I wanted to get out here and make sure my vote counted.
Well, I knew it was, getting time to vote, and I was like, maybe I was going to wait till Tuesday, the regular day, but then I thought, oh, I'm on my way home, I'll just stop out and do it.
Polls open tomorrow statewide at 6 in the morning and close at 9 p.m. If you don't know where you're supposed to be voting, you can find out right now on our website. It's part of our election guide. Just log on to WKBW.com and click on the Democracy 2020 tab at the top of your screen.
And we are switching gears this morning to how some local schools are making changes due to COVID-19. Starting today, Frontier High School is going fully remote for at least 2 weeks. The superintendent in the Frontier Central School District says a number of faculty members have tested positive for the virus. Right now, the school is closed through at least November 13th. The superintendent says parents and students will receive emails with any more information or updates. And students in Buffalo getting a little bit of help when it comes to their mental health during this pandemic. The Buffalo Public School District learning fully remote right now, and there's no end to that in sight. That means a lot of students say they're feeling isolated from their friends. So there's a coalition of community organizations coming together, holding a virtual resilience workshop to try to teach kids the skills that they need to get through this tough time and then connect with other students. So we put a bunch of information on how you can sign your kids up for this right now on our website.
6:04 on a Monday. If you're traveling out of state for the holidays, you might not have to quarantine. The state has released a new travel policy over the weekend, replacing that old quarantine list with all that red across the country. So let's break down the new policy for you. If you were in another state for more than 24 hours, you now have to take a COVID-19 test within 3 days of returning to New York, then quarantine for 3 days. On your 4th day, you've got to take another test, and if both come back negative, you can go on about your life. If either test comes back positive, you've now got to quarantine for 14 days, and your local health department will work on contact tracing. This all goes into effect on Wednesday. If you're looking for specific details, we've got it all laid out for you right now on WKBW.com.
And the Bills are taking time out of their celebrating after a big win against the Pats to remind you to get to the polls. So this post says, win on Sunday, vote on Tuesday. But first, of course, the Bills fans waking up with a big smile on their faces, beating the Pats in Orchard Park for the first time in 9 years.
And we're hoping things don't take a turn like they did in 2011. The team ended up winning only 6 games that year and finished last in the division. Fingers crossed it doesn't happen here, right? But right now the Bills are sitting comfortably atop the AFC East. The Dolphins are 4-3 in second place. They're followed by the Pats, and the winless Jets are in last place. 7 Eyewitness News sports director Matt Beauvais is looking into what went right for the Bills.
Well, you're waking up, there's Christmas music on the radio, and the Buffalo Bills have a big lead over the Patriots in the AFC East. If 2020 couldn't get any weirder, here we are. So the Bills get a huge win yesterday against the Patriots. It's their first win against New England here in Orchard Park since 2011. And after the game, even though the players and coaches said it's a big win because it's a division win, we all know this one means just a bit more.
It's great to have this win, honestly. You know, we worked hard this week. We knew coming into the game it was going to be a smash-mouth game. We're familiar with them. They're familiar with us. So it's just excited to get this win.
All week long we try and go through it. Hey, one day at a time, process. But we know what this game means to our fan base, and just really special. Wish they could have been in the building, honestly, to experience it. It would have been it would have been crazy, I'm sure. And hopefully everyone at home enjoyed it.
And hey, this is a big week for the Bills because the NFL trade deadline is on Tuesday. I think there's something else going on that day. And then the Bills got to prepare for one of the best teams in the NFL, the Seattle Seahawks, right here next Sunday. In Orchard Park, Matt Bove, 7 Eyewitness News.
It's like you got to pick your poison, Election Day or Bills trade day. Matt's going to be back tonight for the Point After, breaking down all the keys to the game with a panel of experts, previewing the team's upcoming game against the Seahawks. That's tonight at 7. Right here on 7 ABC.
And then coming up just after the break, we're going to take a look at what was trending around the country the last time the Bills beat the Patriots here at home.
Plus, are you feeling the impact of turning your clocks back? What you need to do today to feel back on track.
Cheapest bike we found right now is like $2,000.
But first, 9 items you might still have a hard time finding at the store because of the pandemic. Aaron?
All right, let's take a look at your takeout forecast for this Monday. You'll find a little rain and snow around the area around lunchtime with temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. Strong winds around dinner time with temperatures near 40 degrees.
Welcome back. It is 6:11. Here's what's good to know before you go this morning. A 7.0 magnitude earthquake has rattled part of Turkey overnight. At least 79 people are dead, nearly 1,000 injured. This happened in the city of Izmir on the country's western coast. So far, officials say they've pulled more than 100 people out of the rubble.
The BBC and Sun newspaper reporting Prince William, second in line to the British throne, tested positive for COVID-19 earlier this year. The Sun notes William took a break from activity from April 9th through the 16th. That's a few weeks after his father, Prince Charles, tested positive for COVID.
And starting today, more people will have access to their notes that their doctors write during a visit. There's a new federal law. Doctors now have to give patients access to the information online. Patients have long had the right to this information, but often it means filling out requests and even paying a fee.
Okay, and as we take a look at the bus stop forecast, snow showers this morning near 30 degrees, windy this afternoon near 40 degrees. We do have the winter weather advisories in effect until 7 a.m. for southern Erie, Wyoming, Chautauqua, and Cattaraugus counties, and the wind advisory goes into effect later today for just about all of western New York. We are still tracking the snow across the area this morning, and add some extra time to your morning commute. We are seeing some accidents. Here's a look at the 290 at Colvin going westbound just past Colvin. You can see an accident blocking the right lanes. It's going to be a slow go in some spots here in western New York.
Yeah, give yourself extra time this morning, Aaron. Thanks. Lowe's is helping workers make ends meet and looking to hire thousands more. The company says it's giving out an additional $100 million in bonuses. That's to thank frontline hourly workers and support their families during the holiday season. Lowe's is also hiring 20,000 new associates for the holidays. The positions are both full and part-time. And now that Halloween has passed, many stores are turning to the holiday season. Target's already kicked off Black Friday deals. The retailer announcing what it calls Black Friday Now. It's a series of week-long sales that run the entire month of November. This week will feature deals on electronics. The second week focuses on kitchen favorites. The third week, more electronics, apparel, and beauty products. And the last week of the month is all about toys. Other chains like Walmart and Home Depot are also starting their holiday sales a little bit early this year, all in an effort to reduce crowds and control the spread of COVID-19.
Did you start your holiday shopping yet, Katie?
I did.
Okay, I did too. I think I'm well into it at this point as well. Meantime, you can soon be saving more at the pump. More than half of all the gas stations in the country are selling gas for under $2 a gallon. Many of them are in the southeast and midwestern states. But the current trend shows those lower prices will soon be available to the rest of the country. Oil prices are said to be falling, partly because of concerns about a second wave of the pandemic. According to AAA, average prices around western New York are about $2.20 a gallon, but they're hovering around $2.10 in Buffalo. Prices typically go down as we move into the winter.
Well, it's now been almost 8 months since panic buying cleared store shelves of cleaning products, pasta, of course, toilet paper.
Right. Many of these items are back on store shelves, but so many others are impossible to find. Our consumer reporter John Matarese explains why the pandemic is having a role in this as well, so you don't waste your money.
Remember the run on toilet paper? Now stores seem to have too much, but shoppers remain frustrated by other shortages.
Sometimes bleach, paper towels.
Well, that's it. The Clorox wipes we couldn't find.
So our list of the top products still in short supply begins with 1, Lysol and Clorox wipes and other bathroom cleaners. With hospitals and schools snapping them up, grocery shoppers will be the last to get them for a while. 2, paper towels. The Wall Street Journal says manufacturers have not increased production as they have for toilet paper. 3, bicycles. Shopper Beth Tessler was stunned to find bikes sold out from Target to independent shops.
The cheapest bike we found right now is like $2,000.
4, appliances. 5, swimming pools. Stay-at-home orders had homeowners grabbing every pool in sight. They hope to restock this winter. 6, laptops for online learning. Stores predict shortages should ease, though, by Black Friday. And 7, coins. People have been hoarding and not spending them, a real problem for laundromats.
Our customers use quarters to run these machines.
And with more people growing their own vegetables and baking, that's led to shortages of 8, yeast and baking flour, and 9, an uncanny shortage of canning jars and lids. Finally, aluminum cans for beer and Coke because we're drinking at home instead of in bars. And that's why you might be seeing more bottles and fewer cans in the beer aisle this fall. As always, don't waste your money. I'm John Mattery, 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, John, thank you. Well, the Monday after daylight saving ends, typically hard for a lot of people when it comes to adjusting your alarm. How are you feeling over there?
Terrible, to be honest with you. If I could have like a coffee IV, I would love it.
I slept so poorly last night.
Me too. And you know, I was up at 11 o'clock at night, which is really actually early for us. That would be midnight
It's
if
like
it were
the
regular
middle of
time.
the night.
Exactly, terrible.
Yes.
And then couldn't go back to sleep. Isn't that the worst feeling?
Yes.
Can you feel me on this? Doctors say it could be worse for people working from home this year. With no commute, you may be missing out on some morning sun, which is an important part of jump-starting your day. Doctors suggest taking a step outside for a few minutes when the sun comes up instead. So on the flip side of all of this, because it gets darker earlier, it's actually easier to wind down after work, which means you get better sleep.
I do agree with that.
No doubt.
It's easier to fall asleep. It is 6:16. A refrigerator-sized asteroid is going to get pretty close to Earth today as it zooms by. It's 6.5 feet in diameter. That means it's not big enough to do any harm. According to NASA, even if it completely entered our atmosphere, it would disintegrate because of its small size. And Bills fans celebrating the first home win against the Pats since 2011 by sharing the trending moments from that year, like the last Harry Potter movie making its way to the theaters. William and Kate had their massively televised royal wedding. Adele's Rollin' in the Deep was Billboard's top song of the year, and it was also the year of Kim Kardashian's infamous 72-day marriage with basketball player Chris Humphries.
And
I knew that was coming. It is officially November. That means for many people it's the start of the holiday season. At least that's what it means for some local radio stations. Star 102.5 started playing Christmas music for the year. What do you guys think? Too early? Do we need this Christmas spirit? I'm on board, honestly.
I am too. I'm with you 100%. 2020 is what it is.
Yes.
I think the earlier the better. I'm actually looking on Facebook right now. There are so many people who said that they put up their Christmas trees already. And you know what?
Totally.
I mean, 'tis the season at this point. We've got the snow to start today, 70s on Saturday. 2020 is what it is. You might as well just do it.
Normally I'd say too early, but like let's just find some joy in something.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, and you've got the snow coming down this morning, so you might as well have the Christmas music going as well.
Love it.
Bottom line, you know what though, about this morning with the snow coming down, you want to be careful out there. Add some extra time to your morning commute. We do have some slick spots on the roads. Temperatures right near 32 degrees. We are finding some icy spots out there and already some accidents. So let's get right to it. Winter weather advisory in effect for southern Erie, Wyoming, Chautauqua, and Cattaraugus counties through 7 a.m. Another inch or two of snowfall, but strong winds blowing some of that snow around. And like I mentioned, with temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s, you're going to find some icy spots on the roadways, especially bridges and overpasses. We have a wind advisory in effect for later today from 4 p.m. through 1 a.m. on Tuesday. Winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour this evening. Something to keep in mind if you're out and about this evening. Winds will be very, very strong, even stronger than they are right now. 7 Super Doppler showing the snow, and also I want to show you this accident. Look at the 290 going westbound passing Colvin right there. You can see the right lanes are blocked as we had an accident about 20 minutes ago, and it's a slow go on the 290 right now going westbound. We take a look at the north towns here. Shelby, Ridgeway toward Albion, Medina, seeing a little bit of light snow. Alden, Elma, East Aurora, over toward Attica and Sheldon along 20 and 20A. You have them light snow showers. Also some snow showers across the southern tier. But we're starting to see that snow wind down in places like Jamestown over toward Randolph and Faulkner. Right now, outside, a few flurries here in Buffalo, 32 degrees. Winds out of the west-northwest at 22 miles per hour. 31 in Niagara Falls, 28 in Jamestown, 25 right now in Olean. You factor in the winds, and look at that. It feels like it's 19 in Buffalo, 17 in the Falls. It feels like 15 right now in Jamestown. So the kids do have to go to school this morning, and they have to be outside. Make sure they're dressed warmly with wind chills for a lot of you in the teens. Winds right now around 20 to 25 miles per hour. That's how they'll stay through around lunchtime. Then look at that. The winds really increase later on today, gusting near 40 miles per hour after 6 p.m. Here's your forecast then for today. We're in the low 30s this morning with a few snow showers. Cloudy skies this afternoon and strong winds. Temperatures will be near 40 degrees. Your high today 42. Breezy and cool with scattered rain and snow showers. Winds out of the west-northwest 15 to 30 miles per hour with higher gusts later today. Now tonight it's going to be windy. We'll have strong winds with the rain-snow mixture. Early lows in the 30s. Temperatures actually rise a bit overnight. Be in the mid-40s on Tuesday. Morning clouds can go to afternoon sunshine. Low 60s on Wednesday with sunshine. Thursday and Friday near 60 degrees. Mid-60s on Saturday. Near 70 degrees on Sunday. So we'll continue to track the snow across the area this morning and get you updated on any other accidents that we see right now. The 290 westbound past Colvin, all backed up due to an accident there.
Okay, Aaron, thank you very much. With today's wintry weather, we invite you to track the weather along with our 7 First Alert meteorologists. You can do so on WKBW.com and, of course, on our WKBW app.
And coming up here on 7 Eyewitness News, lifting spirits one gourd at a time. One nursing home getting their hands on a pumpkin masterpiece. We'll show you that.
And what's going on with the McKinley Mall? For all of our friends in Hamburg, we're going in depth for you.
Then later today on GMA, with COVID cases spiking a day before Election Day, what can you do to vote safely? One of the nation's leading health experts live to explain. It's 6:21. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News. Welcome back, everybody. 6:25 on the dot. Happening right now, the SPCA celebrating veterans with an adoption special. The SPCA serving Erie County offering free adoptions to members of the military. They're waiving adoption fees for past and present military members. The program runs now through Veterans Day, which is November 11th. I know, right?
That little face.
Look at that little face. That dog's like, just leave me here in this bed today. And a nursing home in Bradford, Pennsylvania has a unique piece of art that's also pretty big.
It comes courtesy of a professional pumpkin carver from Allegheny County that Mike Randall introduced you to last week. Eric Jones carved a 300-pound pumpkin that was donated to the Bradford. Gosh, you guys are killing me here this morning.
Ecumenical?
Thank you. Jones recently brought his skills to the Food Network's Halloween Wars, and you can see why he was a finalist on the show.
Look at
That is so cool.
Wow.
The giant piece of art is now lifting the spirits of all the folks who live there.
Well, these folks have been good to me over the years. I've drawn caricatures for them and the seniors for years. So once I got into pumpkin carving, they just decided to introduce that skill to them too.
How long do you think that worked?
That is so cool.
Oh my gosh, that probably took so long. The 300-pound pumpkin was donated by Carrie Rolslinski. That's when managers at the home reached out to Jones to carve it for them. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Nice way to bring a smile to everyone's face.
It's such a cool thing to be able to go check out too. All right, straight ahead, we're looking at what election night might look like and why some states will have results before others.
Straight ahead, then how one local group is working to bring warmth to those who need it ahead of a cold winter. But first, we'll take you live outside with Skywatch 7. It's cold here to start our day, and snow-covered roads are already having an impact on many drivers. Make sure you're leaving yourself some extra time. You're watching 7 Eyewitness News on a Monday.
It is a breezy, cold, and snowy start to your Monday.
We need new and creative ideas for family entertainment. What brings people together? What excites them?
The McKinley Mall looking to bring shoppers back. We're going in depth, finding out what's in the mall's future.
Then what this year's election night might look like and why the results you see tomorrow may not actually be final.
Then music that matters. One local record label making sure to give back to the community that made it a success.
Now broadcasting and streaming live from 7 Broadcast Plaza. This is 7 Eyewitness News at 6.
We are waking up to a snowy start to the week. Take a look. This is what it looked like in Jamestown while you were sleeping. Several inches of wet snow falling across the southern tier, and Aaron is tracking some more potentially coming our way before we get to the complete 180 of this situation by the end of the week.
Yeah, things really change for the end of the week, but right now it is cold out here and it's slippery. You know, that walking out here, temperatures right around the freezing mark. We had the rain earlier on Sunday, and then we had some rain and snow, and now we're all snow across the area, but all that moisture now icing up. So you're going to find things are very slick across the area this morning. Still have winter weather advisories in effect until 7 a.m. for southern Erie, Wyoming, Chautauqua, and Cattaraugus counties. A wind advisory in effect for later today through early Tuesday for just about all of western New York. Winds will be gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour later as we head toward this afternoon and this evening. Still tracking a little snow across the area. We do have the accident here, the 290 at Colvin going westbound. Look at that. Just a mess as you're going on the 290 westbound just past Colvin. You can see some snow showers were coming in off of Lake Ontario. Those have diminished. A few flakes still flying from East Aurora over towards Sheldon and Warsaw, and a little light snow across the southern tier, but the steadier snows have come to an end. Right now, 32 degrees with snow-covered and slick roads across the area. Winds out of the west-northwest at 22 miles per hour. 28 in Jamestown, 26 in Wellsville. Wind chill values for a lot of you in the teens, so make sure the kids have the jacket on and the gloves as they head out toward the bus stop this morning. Winds are strong. Winds will be gusting around 25 miles per hour this morning. Winds will be gusting near 40 miles per hour later on today. Low 30s, a few snow showers at 8 a.m. Temperatures near 40 degrees this afternoon. Cloudy and windy as winds will be gusting over 40 miles per hour later today.
Aaron, thank you. 632 malls in Western New York and nationwide have taken a hit from the pandemic. They were closed for months due to safety precautions. Locally, a lack of Canadian shoppers also added to the struggle. But the McKinley Mall in Hamburg started seeing the decline long before the pandemic began. The Eastern Hills Mall is new life. The Boulevard Mall looking to redevelop as a mixed-use community. Could something similar happen with the McKinley Mall?
All new for you this morning, 7 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Proya is digging into what's going on with the McKinley Mall and where it might go in the future.
Sparsely filled parking lots, empty hallways, vacant storefronts.
When you compare walking through it now, as opposed to walking through it 30 years ago, there's a tremendous difference.
Hamburg Town Supervisor Jim Shaw says the McKinley Mall has seen a steady decline in foot traffic through the years, as one after one, anchor tenants like Sears, Macy's, and Bon-Ton have closed their doors.
And so it's a big concern.
Ann Reindfuss is a sales associate at the B-Flow store in the mall. She says the store is doing better than they were pre-pandemic.
A great atmosphere in the store and being adjacent to the parking lot, I think that's helped a lot.
But Ann says there's less foot traffic on the inside of the mall, and it's probably thanks to online shopping.
I know a lot of customers are shopping online. I know a lot of customers have told us they're shopping early.
According to Adobe Analytics, U.S. online sales for September increased 43% compared to 2019.
The upcoming holiday season could bring more foot traffic to the McKinley Mall, but with the growing popularity of online shopping combined with the pandemic, it still may be less people.
There'll be great reticence on the part of a lot of shoppers to go into enclosed spaces for shopping. So that's just going to enhance online shopping and have an adverse impact upon malls.
Another hit, no Canadian shoppers. Creditors began foreclosing on the mall in 2018, but the past 8 months of COVID have put that on hold.
As a consequence, things have stayed relatively flat. That's why we retained an attorney to try and move this process forward and get the property sold sooner as opposed to later.
Shaw says he can see a bright future for the property, and it involves rezoning.
We need mixed usages. We need new and creative ideas for family entertainment. What brings people together? What excites them?
7 Eyewitness News reached out to Schultz Management for comment on the mall's future. We did not hear back. In Hamburg, Olivia Proya, 7 Eyewitness News.
A lot of questions still, Olivia. Thank you. All new for you this morning. The state Supreme Court justice caught on camera fighting with neighbors and police won't be sitting on the bench anytime soon. Body camera video obtained by our I-team shows Justice Mark Grisanti fighting with police back in June. Grisanti and his wife were under police investigation, but were never charged with the crime. We've now confirmed through a spokesperson for state courts, Grisanti will have all remaining City of Buffalo cases stripped from his docket. According to Law 360, about a dozen cases will be reassigned to other judges.
State leaders are taking aim at a new COVID-19 vaccination plan proposed by the White House. In a conference call, Governor Cuomo and State Attorney General Letitia James discussed the plan and possible racial disparities within it. The federal vaccination plan expects the vaccine to be distributed to pharmacies, clinics, and doctors' offices. Well, Cuomo and James say that plan would make it really difficult for communities of color to access the vaccine.
That is the same infrastructure that doesn't exist in the communities we're talking about. It's the same infrastructure that was lacking, that caused the healthcare disparities in the first place.
Well, a WKBW analysis of 2 medical research studies found disparities in flu vaccination rates were less about access and more about safety concerns about the vaccine and missed opportunities by physicians. Both studies say more work has to be done to avoid both of those.
6:36 today is the final full day on the campaign trail for President Trump and Democratic rival Joe Biden. The two candidates are spending the day in crucial battleground states, making a last chance case to voters. The president is trying to cover as much ground as possible with 2 stops scheduled in Michigan and 1 in Pennsylvania. There's also 1 in North Carolina. He's ending the day in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Meantime, former Vice President Biden will spend more time in Pennsylvania and Ohio.
And it's very likely we won't know the results of this election by the end of tomorrow. And some states will have results earlier than others. That's because some states like Florida, Ohio, and North Carolina start processing ballots early and then tally them up quickly that night. Some states, though, like Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, don't tally early. That means networks will be slower than usual to project most states this year.
It's going to be a tough one for any of the networks who are trying to figure out what's going on because we don't know what proportion of the vote is going to be done by mail. We know that a certain large number of voters are going to be voting by mail for the first time and don't know how that's going to work. And there could be questions about how many of them are actually counted and filled out properly.
So early results will also likely favor Democrats because data shows more Democrats are voting earlier than Republicans. And just after the break, we're going in depth. We're finding out just how critical swing states are this election.
Then how one Buffalo man is bridging the gap between local leaders and the community they serve. But first, at 6:38, here's Aaron.
Yeah, let's take a look at your forecast for tomorrow, your voting forecast. You're going to find temperatures in the upper 30s tomorrow morning with a cool breeze, and then partly sunny skies in the afternoon with temperatures in the low to mid 40s.
Welcome back, 6:40. We are officially one day from Election Day, and even with it right at our doorstep, it's still unclear who has the upper hand in some of the key swing states. There's a new Siena College poll out this weekend looking at the battleground states of Wisconsin, Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Florida. Right now, Joe Biden leads in all 4, but he has the biggest lead in Wisconsin, where he's ahead of the president by 11 percentage points. In Arizona and Pennsylvania, he's up 6 points. The closest state is Florida, where the former vice president is ahead of the president by 3%. And this morning, we're taking an in-depth look at why these swing states are so critical.
And so let's go behind the numbers for you this morning and give you some context, because we know how important it is for you to really understand the numbers here and why those key swing states are so important. So let's take a look first at the number of electoral votes that are available in each of those 4 states. Arizona, 11, Wisconsin, 10, Pennsylvania, 20, and Florida, 29. So those are the number of electoral votes that each candidate can potentially win from the Electoral College. Let's go back to 2008 and talk about those 4 states in particular. Florida went for Obama. Pennsylvania went for Obama. Wisconsin went for Obama. The only state of those 4 not to go blue was Arizona. Same thing in 2016, though it looks a little bit different. Here, Pennsylvania went red, Florida went red, Arizona went red, so did Wisconsin. So obviously, when they voted for Trump, there's a lot at stake here, which is point number 2, that President Trump won each of these states in 2016. So let's go to 2020. We'll make the map blank again, though we'll sub out Hillary Clinton for Joe Biden. Here's the math and the tricky part here. If for whatever reason voters choose Joe Biden or they choose Donald Trump, the numbers fluctuate. So we'll just give Florida for Joe Biden, for instance, here, and we'll also give him Pennsylvania. You can see that this takes him right over the edge. 287 electoral votes. You need 270 to win. We'll give Florida back to Donald Trump. That puts him at 280. Again, 270 is what he needs to be pushed over the threshold. So we'll be watching each of these 4 states very carefully. Arizona, Florida, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. We know that each of those candidates are crisscrossing the country today, making that final appeal to each of these voters.
You know, it's those 4 states that are going to mean so much come election day and night. All right, Ed.